I declare the May 2019 graduate commencement of the State University of New York Polytechnic Institute to be in session.
Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Dr. Shadi Shahidipur Sanvik. I'm the Vice President of Research and Advancement and Graduate Studies at SUNY Poly. Please remain standing for our national anthem. Thank you. The national anthem will be performed by Donovan Sogitan of Clifton Park, New York, a sophomore majoring in accounting and business administration.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. I ask the members of the platform party stand and remain standing as they are introduced. Please hold your applause until all are recognized. Dr. Ronald Sarner, Maceburg. Ms. Mary Beth Lyons, Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Mr. Anthony Viscosi, Student Representative to the College Council. Mr. Tucker Mogren, Student Government President. Mr. David Abbott, Student Government Vice President. Dr. Linda Weber, Chair of the Faculty Assembly. Dr. Andrew Russell, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Arthur Liu, Dean of the College of Business Management. Dr. Andrew Wolf, Dean of the College of Engineering. Dr. Kathleen Rourke, Dean of the College of Health Sciences. Dr. Stephen Schneider, Provost. Dr. Donald Hanson, Chair of the College Council. Ms. Alicia Dicks, Commencement Speaker. Dr. Grace Wong, Interim President. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you Dr. Grace Wong, President of SUNY Polytechnic Institute.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations to our graduate students of 2019. Today marks another significant milestone on your continued academic and career path. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the family, friends, and also all the SUNY Polytechnic Institute's outstanding faculty and staff members who are here today. Thank you very much for joining us. A very special welcome to our keynote speaker, Ms. Alicia Dicks and her lovely family. This is an exciting time for you. As you look toward your next opportunity, I hope you will take a moment to reflect on your experience at SUNY Poly and the knowledge and skills you have gained during your time with us. As you move forward, so does SUNY Poly. In fact, U.S. News and World Report just ranked SUNY Poly number 11 in Best Value Schools in 2019. And that speaks of the quality and the value of the education SUNY Poly offers. In the last academic year alone, SUNY Poly has established seamless transfer pathways with 3 community colleges, and we formed an innovative partnership with Albany Law School so that our students can have unique experience at the interface of technologies and law. And we also announced a partnership with Rome Hospital to provide additional educational experience for their employees. And these collaborations also extend to the industry. We have established very exciting partnerships with technology leaders like IBM and Applied Materials. We also formed a partnership with Air Force Research Labs Information Directorate, focusing on quantum information science and engineering and artificial intelligence. As soon-to-be SUNY Poly alumni, you can be confident knowing that SUNY Poly will continue focus on providing a dynamic learning experience for our students in the in-demand careers of the 21st century. And as you embark on these next steps of your life, your educational and career path, I encourage you to reach for more, to do more, and become more. When I was in my early 20s, I dreamed about coming to United States to pursue my graduate education. And my parents questioned if that will be a wise decision for me to leave the comfortable life at home and go to a place that I did not know a single person. So I said to them, if I stayed home, I almost will know exactly where I will be 5 years from today. But if I go to United States and seek the best education, I would not even know where I will be 5 years from today. And basically, if I stayed home, I would be comfortable, and if I would not, but I will not be challenged. But taking this journey, my opportunities and the possibilities could be beyond even my imagination. So today, as I reflect on my own journey and many of yours during your time here at the SUNY Poly, I will say you should always reach out and be comfortable to be out of your comfort zone. The real risk in life is not being out of your comfort zone. The real risk is not reaching for more. And today, you are armed with an ability to adapt and valuable knowledge in your chosen field and your brand new SUNY Poly degree. I hope you will continue to reach for more and explore all the exciting possibilities ahead. As you reach for more, I remember to keep an open mind, to see the world in new ways and seek new paths. Just last month, a team of our SUNY Poly students, mentored by Professor Joe Zhou, won the first place at the Create Symposium hosted by New York State Industries for the Disabled, Inc. So the students engineered a device that simultaneously removes plastic rings from around 6 packs of cans in a box more efficiently. And especially that will be helpful for the people with disabilities. So I'm also an engineer. I didn't know how they came up with these ideas. I can assure you most engineers don't sit in their living room and thinking about how to remove a class ring from a can of 6 cans of, a pack of 6 cans. So I asked the students, how did they come up with the idea? And so they said they visited the manufacturing facility and observed in real life, this is a real problem that's in need of a real life solutions. So it was as simple as that. The new perspectives opened the new possibilities for them. So I'm confident that you will achieve many accomplishments in many years to come. So keep an open mind, see the world in new ways. But remember, you cannot do this alone. No one can do this alone. I remember my own former thesis advisor, who was exceedingly tough on me when I was in school. He set the bar very high. And I safely concluded that he just simply did not like me. And you guys probably are nodding and thinking, who would? But I have to say, I learned from him more than from anyone else during my academic career. And then years later, after I graduated, there's one time I was talking to him. So I said, I didn't quite understand why you were particularly tough on me. And he was very surprised. He didn't recall that he was particularly tough on me. He said the only thing he remembered was that he always believes that I was capable of doing more. So I was very lucky to have someone like him in my career who challenged me to do more. And I'm sure all of you have someone and some people in your life like my thesis advisor, and I'm sure you met some SUNY Poly faculty members or staff members like my former thesis advisor. So celebrate those people who support you, empower you, and challenge you to do more and become more. And so now I would like to ask all our graduating students, would you please rise and give a standing ovation to our faculty members, staff, family, and friends who have supported, empowered, and challenged you along the way. Thank you. Please be seated. There are many pathways to success in work and at life. But here is what I would say to you. Always reach for more. See the world in new ways. And celebrate the people who empower you along the way. You will always carry the name of the institution you attended. Carry the SUNY Polytechnic Institute's name with pride as you advance your career, as you serve your community, and as you make an impact in our society, and enjoy every accomplishment that's yet to come. So SUNY Poly's brand new 2019 graduate students, congratulations. I wish you the very best success in your life at work, and please let us know your success. We are here rooting for you. Thank you. And it's now my honor and privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Alicia Dicks, the president and the CEO of the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida counties. Prior to joining the foundation, she served as president of the Ford Scalar Management Corporation, where she managed the construction, maintenance, and operations of the computer chip commercialization center, now home to the Danfoss Silicon Power right here on SUNY Poly Utica campus. Alicia also spent more than a decade at the national grade, and as a regional executive director, she managed National Grade's business operations for the Mohawk Valley and Northern New York. She also served as a director of market strategy. She began her public policy career at the Albany Local Development Corporation and in Albany City Government, facilitating urban planning, development, and construction projects as a senior economic developer. Alicia has a master's degree in urban and regional planning from the University at Albany and a bachelor's degree in international relations from SUNY Cortland. She serves on many local boards, including Save the Day Foundation, the School and Business Alliance, and Mohawk Valley Edge. And she lives in Whitesboro with her husband and their 2 daughters. And in addition to having Alicia here, I'm proud to welcome her family, including her mother, Miss Mary Fernandez, who is also here with us today. With that, would you please give a very warm SUNY Poly welcome to our keynote speaker, Miss Alicia Dicks.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. There you go. Thank you, Dr. Wang and the SUNY Poly family for inviting me here today. This is a really special occasion. I have to start saying 2 things. I'm never good at speaking in front of a room of people, so mind my nerves. I have to apologize for that. And I have to give a shout out. 2 of these students are dear to me, Kayla and Mike. You guys have worked with us at the Community Foundation, and we are so proud back at the office. A true celebration indeed today. It's a great honor to be here, and personally, it's a great astonishment that I'm actually on the stage with you. I have known a lot of these students and this faculty. I've been working on this campus in my past, and it's kind of a welcome home for me. But it's also a privilege to be standing here with you, experiencing this moment, and sharing my story. And really celebrating the newly minted master's graduates today. So congratulations to you all. So a few decades ago, I was sitting in a chair similar to yours and receiving my master's in urban planning. And you know what my mother said to me after the ceremony? Well, that's great, Alice, because that's my nickname. Why not a JD? Why don't you go get a law degree? And I'm like, really? I just got a master's? And then when she got over the fact that I didn't go to law school, she said, well, what about a PhD? Let's get the PhD. So my mom, who is here somewhere, is basically, to me, a literary genius, has read every book imaginable, including some of those grown-up authors like James Joyce and Faulkner. Her mind is one of the most impressive I've ever known. And she could have been a great scholar and accomplished writer if she ever had the opportunity to go to college. Getting an education was always a priority for my mother. Growing up, she would say, go to college, you can do whatever you want, but you have to go to college. There's nothing you can't do. She was relentless. And even now, she still mentions that PhD. Is it time yet? Is it time yet? You going? So many folks don't have the chance to do what you graduate students have just accomplished. People like my mother are always so proud to see people like you sit in those seats after years of hard work and, for most, great sacrifice. As I reflect on my journey, I don't believe I have an extraordinary story, but I've had the great fortune to be surrounded by extraordinary people, like my mom, who you know, has been relentless, as I said, about education. She tried to raise me, my brother, and my sister with her message being constant: education. The youngest of 7 in a first-generation immigrant Italian family, she didn't have the opportunity to go to college, but she did the best she could, and quite frankly, I think she did pretty well. We lived a modest lifestyle, We didn't have designer labels. We didn't have fancy cars, no big family vacations. But there was love, and there was support, and there was the constant message of doing better. I think that experience of growing up in that modest, meager household helped shape, cut, and mold my future. I'll give you an example. Every Sunday, we spent at the laundromat. So it's funny because when I go to the laundromat now, I look around and I think, I can't wait to get out of there, when I have to go if my machine's broken. And it didn't change back then. We would go collect our quarters every week and spend hours on Sunday at the laundromat among people that were very similar and just like us, some grumpy, some kind, some haggard, some anxious, but all of them were scrambling to get out of there as fast as you could. No one wants to be there longer than they had to. And from that Sunday tradition, I knew that I did not want to have to go to the laundromat every week. I wanted something better. But I was what you might say an average kid. I wasn't a stellar student, no AP classes in my portfolio. I wasn't a starter athlete, and I wasn't a first chair on the band or choir. I was basically average. But I knew myself, and I knew I wanted to make things better. And I also recognized that I would have to work very, very hard at whatever I was going to do when I grew up, because nothing came easy to us or to me. But I really couldn't wait till I grew up. So, before I had working papers, I had a pet sitting company in my house with my mom and did pretty well. And as soon as I could work, I was out there in town. At every establishment I could get a job. I sold sneakers, I scooped ice cream, fast food, late nights, tickets at the drive-in. I hope you guys know what a drive-in theater is. When I drive through Rocky Point, Long Island today with my girls and my husband, I often point out all the places I worked, and they're everywhere. And we laugh out loud. I'm like, who was that kid? I was literally everywhere around that town working. But I was still considered average, and not many had great expectations for me. So average that my high school counselor tried to talk me out of going to college, saying that, well, you're an average kid, you may fail out because you don't have support, and, you're working around town, so you might want to just stay in town and work. I'm going to tell you what, thank God I didn't take his advice. I heard my mother's drum, go to college. And I did. And it didn't take me very long to fall in love with the experience of knowledge and being surrounded by people who didn't think like me and embrace it and really start to excel and thrive. And as a young student, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So I put myself in situations that would challenge me and help me grow and would give me a better understanding of the world and how to relate to it. And I took advantage of a few opportunities to study overseas. 2 semesters I went to London, and 1 I spent in Spain. And while I was in Spain, I was really tested. Those first few weeks, I didn't know the language. Everything was very foreign to me. I was alone. But I am so glad I tested myself in that way. They were very hard weeks, but I realized that with every challenge, and since then, I still remember this, with focus, dedication, commitment, and the simplicity of being myself, I can do it. Like my mother always said, you can do anything you want. Just set your mind to it. And I survived that big risk I took. I actually wanted to stay there an extra semester, but I had to come back and graduate. After graduation, like so many of my contemporaries, I worked on Wall Street. Everybody in the early 90s was flooding into Wall Street and trying to make a lot of money. It was an environment that was totally peculiar to me. Money and vanity, they were everywhere. And I was unfamiliar with both of them. I didn't acclimate, but I realized 2 things, where I didn't want to be and what I didn't want to do. And for many of us, it's almost as important to know what you don't want as much as what you do want. Taking that risk and the risk to Spain, I realized that I can navigate through anything successfully. Whether I fail or not, I will keep going. So as I searched for my future, I realized that I had a passion for cities and communities, and I needed to find a career in that space. I'd never heard of urban planning, but once I found it, the light bulb went on, and off I went to get my master's and my first job in Albany, New York. I was put in charge of an urban design plan that exposed me to every facet of city government and community building. You know, long, long days, and nothing that was in front of me would I push to the side. I needed to learn it. So I really dug in. I loved the job. It was my dream job. But, as many of you guys know, curveballs always come, don't they? Well, my curveball while I was at Albany was I met Bob Dicks. He's here in the back somewhere. And you know, we're not supposed to talk about our personal story when we're talking about our profession and our careers, but I tend to think that that's nonsense. We need to start recognizing that what happens in our daily life influences everything in our life. So off I went to try to be in the same geography as Bob, and I landed here in Utica. And lo and behold, I didn't land in urban design. I got a job working at a power company for gas and electric distribution. Well, the only thing I knew about power was how to turn on the light switch. So 12 years I spent with that company, and I moved to that company, landing several leadership positions. I can now speak the language of transformers and power quality and transmission interconnects. When I see a light switch, I can see the wire go all the way out to the power source. I now know the power industry. I didn't go to school for it. I had to learn every square inch of that business by taking the time to ask questions, talk to people all through the company, and invest myself there. I realized that for me, to do good and to do a good job, I needed to fully understand the business, not just the task I was hired for. And you know, I was on a fast track for leadership mobility. By the time I got through the 10th or 11th year, the company started investing in me, which was phenomenal. Again, 12 years earlier, I had no idea what a power company did. And yet, here I am on this fast-track trajectory, and yet another curveball comes. A new chapter starts. Kids, family, life choices causing another bend in my career. An opportunity came my way to be close to home and not be on the road, and that was to build what was then called the Quad C. And the project was totally alien to me. It was a clean room. A clean room? I didn't even know what that was. You want me to do what? You want me to build a clean room? So, you know, again, I hear my mother's voice. There's nothing you can't do. I took the job. 3 years of grit and fully immersing myself into technology, processes, the ecosystem of clean room construction, and voila. Just out these doors, on this magnificent campus, sits the Quad C clean room. And I am so proud that I was part of leading that building's development. And if you look back for that 15-year span, I couldn't believe what I had just accomplished, even then. I was always surprising myself, which is something I hope all of you graduates continue to do for yourself. After that building was finished, I took yet another turn and a leap into unfamiliar waters. For the past 4 years, I have worked at the Community Foundation, which had been steeped in tradition and history and did really well for this community for the 50 or 60 years it was in function. But I was tasked to reconfigure the organization for the future. Another foreign challenge to me that caused me to totally engage, understand, learn, and find the confidence to boldly lead. I'd never been in philanthropy before. I had to learn a whole new language. 4 years I've been there, and I think we're doing pretty good back at our shop. So if you told that kid in the laundromat about the future and what it would bring, I think she would have said, yeah, right, sure. Maybe. But I also think in the back of her head she would have heard her mother's, that drum beat. You know what? Maybe I can do anything. The average kid with that average kid with insignificant expectation now stands at this podium for you. And I don't believe I was asked to be here because of my college or graduate degrees or my boatload of experience in the workforce. I think I'm here because I have always been true to myself. Don't overlook that. What makes us unique goes far beyond our fingerprints or the gait of our walk or the degrees we hold. What makes us unique is what we bring to our everyday existence. Don't try to be someone else. Learn from others. Find your mentors. Seek the best and take what works for you, but always remain true to yourself. That will always set you apart. And I think my career history proves that we can learn all the skills in the world we need, but however, it's who you are that matters most. There was once a quote I never understand, no matter where you are, there you are. And now I kind of get it, because no matter where you go in your journey, you're that individual, unique person that's there, your authentic self. And the experience changes just because of that. And don't forget that. I can promise you that the future will come fast and unyielding. And, unless you choose to sit still and content and unmotivated and unbendable. But if that is the type of person any of you are, you probably wouldn't be in this room right now. You probably wouldn't have stretched your capabilities and stressed your time and life with getting this master's degree. But here you are, today, with an eye on a brighter future because of the simple fact that you achieved this goal, this milestone, this piece of paper that certifies your knowledge in accountancy, technology management, nursing, computer science, and all the other great disciplines. Never diminish the effort and success that today holds for you. I have two hopes for you. First, that you don't worry about the future, because ready or not, it comes. The future is never binary, it is never black or white, and if you keep true to yourself and keep an open mind, you will not fail. And if you really think about it, there really is no such thing as failure. As long as you learn from it, it is merely an edit to, however great or small, to the path you're leading. Today is what matters. Celebrating this major milestone, appreciating those around you, learning, absorbing, and making the commitment that when you wake tomorrow, you will make it a better day. My second hope is that you use this degree and your ever-improving skill sets and transfer them to new opportunities in ways you may not even understand today. Opportunities for you to always give back. Always remember to share your knowledge, mentor, teach, tutor, volunteer. Advice I received early in my career, and at first I thought, who can I help? I was pretty young. But when I took the moment to look around, there were endless opportunities to support others. And if you take a moment to look around, there's always somebody to help. Remember, there is nothing you can't learn. Be true to yourself and always support those around you. Those are my big messages today. And commencement speeches are always, sprinkled with a bunch of great quotes. I have two that I want to share with you. One is by Booker T. Washington. Those who are happiest are those who do the most for others. And if you think about your happiest moments and where you are and what you were doing, you may find that this is such a true statement, that our biggest joys are when we share happiness and share ourselves with others. My favorite quote, now, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I'm a lot older than a lot of you nice young graduates here. I was a huge U2 fan. Don't boo them if you don't like them. But Bono said, and in the spirit of rock and roll, the world is waiting for you to hammer it into shape. And if hammer is your knowledge, hammer is your skill set, today, take your sharpened skills, your hammer, and promise us a brighter future. And put yourselves to good work. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to share this moment with you. It has been a true honor. And like I said, that kid from the laundromat, standing on the stage, sharing this moment with you, I don't think it gets better than that. So congratulations, master's degree graduates, and I'm looking forward to seeing you across the stage. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Alicia, for that very inspirational message to our class of 2019. And we're excited one of your team members from the foundation, Kayla Alice, is among our candidates for master's degrees in instructional design and technology program today. Congratulations, Kayla. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce the 2019 Student Government President, Targar Mogren.
Thank you, Dr. Wong, for the warm introduction, and thank you for your leadership this past year. To the graduate class of 2019, congratulations. Completing a graduate degree, as you know, is no easy task. Rigorous classwork, research assistantships, outside jobs, and other commitments. Between all those, there's a ton going on. Now that you have a second to rest while you're waiting to receive your diploma, I would like you to take a moment and reflect on your time at SUNY Poly. And I would also like you to ponder the following questions. How has your advanced education from SUNY Poly prepared you to excel in your future endeavors? How has any research you have conducted helped your community or your prospective field? Make sure you give time today while you're celebrating the completion of your degree to reflect on everything you have accomplished at your time at SUNY Poly. Your time at SUNY Poly can be summed up in so much more than simply telling someone you have graduated. While graduation is the main goal, there are so many other achievements that make your experience at SUNY Poly meaningful that may be forgotten or overlooked, like any research, apprenticeships, or extracurricular involvements that you have done, to name a few. I would like to leave everyone with a quick quote, and it is, "To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe." Anatole France. And I believe that everyone sitting in this room has the ability to thrive in any field that they pursue. And it is now my pleasure to introduce SUNY Poly's College Council Student Representative, Anthony Viscusi.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Tucker, for the generous introduction. I'm proud to announce a class gift for the class of 2019. Our class will be presenting 4 table charging stations for the KN Library, Campus Center, and the Student Center for easy access for charging mobile electronic devices. On top of the charging tables, we will also be presenting wireless charging lockers for a commuter lounge, which will provide a safe place to store keys, wallet, and other personal items for the students. The student government at Utica is also proud to present a gift to the campus. I recently had the honor to chair an ad hoc committee to search for an appropriate gift from the student government at Utica. After much discussion yielded no results, I came to the determination that this year's gift should leave a legacy for our campus. I worked with William Spitz, a graduating civil engineering student here at SUNY Poly, to draft a rendering for a permanent digital LED sign to be installed in front of the Student Center. And right there you can see the sign. This sign will be capable of communicating all events and important communications to students, faculty, and staff in real time, something which will add value to the campus and students for years to come. Thank you, Dr. Wong, faculty, and staff for your leadership and supporting each member of the class of 2019.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Tucker, Anthony, and the class 2019 for that wonderful gift, which will benefit our students for years to come. At this time, I would like to introduce Provost Dr. Stephen Schneider as we present the 2019 Academic Awards.
Good afternoon and welcome to graduate commencement. This is a special opportunity for us to recognize those students who have achieved a very high level of success in their academic programs. We honor our students who have been challenged and have achieved success and excellence across our academic programs. We're also grateful for the encouragement and support of their family and friends, many of whom are here today to join us in this celebration. Likewise, your faculty have played a critical role in your success, and they are here today in recognition of your success. And I would like to ask all of our faculty to stand as we give them a round of applause to thank them for their hard work and dedication. We will now begin the presentation of awards. Award recipients should come forward to the stage when their names are announced and exit the stage to my right. Dr. Liu will come forward to assist with the presentation of awards for the College of Business Management. The College of Business Management's Outstanding Graduate Student in Accountancy Award will be presented by Dr. Arthur Liu to a Master of Science in Accountancy student based on academic achievement, drive, and determination. This year's recipient is Daniel Laughlin. The College of Business Management's Outstanding Graduate Student in Marketing Award is presenting to a marketing student based on academic achievement, drive, and determination. This year's recipient is Louise Notaro. Dr. Wolf. The College of Engineering Outstanding Student in Computer and Information Sciences MS program will be presented by Dr. Andrew Wolf to the student with the highest GPA currently in the program. This year's recipient is William D. Blair. The College of Engineering's Outstanding Student in Network and Computer Security MS program will be presented to the student who demonstrates outstanding academic performance and character. This year's recipient is Mohammed Arshad Pulakal. The College of Health Sciences Melissa Seville Culver Memorial Scholarship will be presented by Dr. Kathleen Rourke. Melissa, a SUNY Poly alum of the Nurse Practitioner Program, was an incredible mother of two and a devoted daughter and sister who exemplified the caring spirit and intelligence of an advanced practice nurse. This award will be presented to a graduating student of the Nurse Practitioner Program who demonstrates hard work and commitment to SUNY Poly and the community. This year's recipient is Jill M. Katina. The College of Health Sciences Outstanding Nurse Practitioner Graduate Student will be presented to the Graduating Nurse Practitioner Graduate Student for outstanding academic achievement and professional behavior that reflects compassion, competence, confidence, and commitment. This year's recipient, Christopher K. Jones. The College of Business Management Dean's Award will be presented by Dr. Arthur Liu to a graduating master's student demonstrating significant professional contribution and outstanding academic achievement in their professional field. This year's recipient is Elias A. Zenya. The College of Health Sciences Dean's Award will be presented by Dr. Kathleen Rourke to a graduating master's student demonstrating significant professional contribution and outstanding academic achievement in their professional field. This year's recipient is George Sisting. It is now my honor to present the Provost's Award. The Provost's Award is presented to a graduating student who has enriched the SUNY Poly community through a record of accomplishment and leadership to such areas in scholarship, community service, and student life. The recipient of this year's award is Samantha McDonald. The President's Award will be presented by Dr. Grace Wong. The President's Award is awarded to a graduating student who has a distinguished academic record, has demonstrated leadership to the college, the community, or the discipline, and exhibits exceptional standards of moral character. The recipient of this year's award is Kristen Maloney. I'd like to extend one more round of applause for all of our award recipients. And I'd like to welcome Dr. Shadapur Sanvik back to the stage as we prepare for the hooding and conferring of the degrees.
Okay, so here is some really needed. It's like every time I read this, it's a reminder for me the significance of these hooding traditions. So here's some piece for all of us to just understand with these different colors and things. So I'm going to read it to you. It's long. It's actually pretty informational. So here we go. So academic dress retains an extremely long tradition and dates back to not only the colonial days and Europe, but to the philosophers as well. Each, the bachelor's, master's, and doctoral gowns are differently designed. The bachelor's gown is designed with sleeves that are rather open and square at the end instead of pointed. The master's gown sleeve is oblong, and the base of the sleeve hangs down with a square cut at the rear part of the oblong shape. Both gowns are all black, while a doctoral gown is also black. Some schools select to replace the black with their school colors. I think Dr. Wong's is kind of one of them. I'll give you an example, and Dr. Schneider as well. And the sleeves are bell-shaped with 3 velvet bands. These bands are either black or dark blue for a PhD, or can be trimmed in a color to designate the field of study. Thus, you can tell a great deal about a person by the gown they wear. Well, just not about the person, but necessarily about the degrees that they have. The hoods are equally telling, as they also represent the degree, master's versus doctoral, where the person went to school and their field of study. The hood itself is black. The interior lining of the hood represents the colors of the institution, and the chevrons represent the degree of study. For example, at today's ceremony, you will see colors such as orange for engineering, apricot for nursing, sage green for the health sciences, white for humanities, and drab for business. These colors of program areas have been in existence for generations. A hooding ceremony is a special recognition for PhD and master's degree candidates in which a faculty member from the student's respective program places a hood over the head of the graduate, signifying his or her success in completing the graduate program. So the last piece of information you should know is about adornment, such as medals and medallions. You will see the president wearing medallions, which are symbolic of her position as the chief executive officer of the institution. She is to open the institution and open graduations with these medallions. Your faculty may also wear medals, medallions, and honor cords that represent their academic achievements. You have attained a significant achievement in your field of study. So at this point, I mean, hopefully some of us will retain some of this information, I guess, until the next time when you get a higher degree, and I guess you will kind of get to hear this again. So thank you.
So candidates for degrees, the moment for which you have labored so long and awaited with anticipation is now at hand. I ask the provost to assist in the hooding, conferral, and the presentation of degrees.
Will all of the Master of Business Administration, Master of Science, and Certificate of Advanced Study candidates please rise? Madam President, these candidates have satisfied, subject to verification, requirements for their respective degrees upon recommendation of the faculty and the Graduate Council I now present them to you for conferring of the degrees.
So upon the recommendation of the faculty and the graduate council, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the college council, the board of trustees of the State University of New York, and by the board of regents of the University of the State of New York, I confer upon those of you who are found qualified the degree of Master of Business Administration, the degree of Master of Science, and the certificate of advanced study with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please be seated. Candidates are asked to rise when called by academic program and remain standing until directed to move forward.
And now, Dr. Andrew Russell, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Madam President, will the candidates for the following degree please rise? Master of Science with a major in Information Design and Technology. Candidates, please move forward to receive your degrees.
Alicia Kyoko Flynn. Donald Conklin. Sean Brierly. Kayla Ellis. Jorge Bustos Estefan. Kristen Maloney. Samantha Alexander.
Dr. Arthur Liu, Dean of College of Business Management.
Madam President, will the candidates for the following degree programs please rise? Master of Business Administration in Technology Management and Master of Science in Accountancy. Please proceed to the stage.
Raymond Leaning. Samantha McLaughlin. Tamara Hillman. Ramatullah Naimi. Saskia Baresi. Jessica Battisti. Andriana Semko. Alejandra Gamez. Giuseppe Purpura. Philip Massatelli. Brett Flint. Nicholas Brennan. Natalie Streifert. Angela Bartlett. Sergeant First Class Anthony Rendy. Jessica Lucia Paz. Daniel Laughlin. Angelina Mercurio. Michael Aiello. Elias Zina. Francis Eleanor Karras. Jennifer Leal. Samantha McDonald. Jerica Paulson. Luis Notaro. Major William Spears. Jane Kaylees. Elmedin Nohanovic.
Now, Dr. Andrew Wolf, the Dean of College of Engineering.
Madam President, will the candidates for the following degrees please rise? Master of Science with a major in Computer and Information Science. With a major in Network and Computer Security. Master of Science with a major in Telecommunications. Candidates, please move forward to receive your degrees.
Vedank Hiteshpai Patel. Soham Joshi. Harsh Shah. Alexander Jansing. Ibrahim Al-Jamal. Ian James Kurzrock. Brian Flanagan Malsan. Mitchell J. Euchre. Victoria Kozinski. William David Blair III. Benjamin Schiff. Muhammad Arshad Pulakal. Brijan Rai. Hathel Bacola. Ronak Jonathan Lagasetti. Smit Patel. Hiren Patel. Jay Prajapathy. Mahir Raj. Sugam Mockert.
Dr. Kathleen Roque, the Dean of College of Health Sciences.
Madam President, will the candidates for the following degrees please rise? Master of Science with a major in Family Nurse Practitioner. Master of Science with a major in Nursing Education. Certificate of Advanced Study in Family Nurse Practitioner. Certificate of Advanced Study in Nursing Education. Candidates, please move forward to receive your degrees.
Elizabeth Moore. Patricia Flehan. Vivian Greenfield. Shayla Grosanya. Elizabeth LaFountain. Faretta Odobasic. Brittany Lasso.
They were part of that. Thank you.
Megan Fusey. Maria Gabra Michael. Maria Santos. Megan Hogan. Jeannie Lardner Dantini. Jennifer Cavallero. Michelle Lane. Kayla Lynn Miller. Lindsay McGarry. Renee Minisov. Magdalena Skoren. Taylor Alexandra Unser. Andrea Brennan. Mariah Mosley. Shelby Griffiths. April Lamunion. Amanda McCabe. Karen Brown. Jelana Grissom. Allison Al-Sheikh. Christopher Jones. Patrick Keenan. Kathy Ann Robertson. Karen Clement O'Brien. Danielle Christine Fontaine. Shannon Lynn Tilby. Cheryl Ann Palmer. Heather Marie Forrester. Jennifer Ann Lieberman. Amy Marie Yursha. Aaron Joyner. Rachel Marie Baker. Erin Catherine Student. June Brouillard Barber. Christina Block. Vanette Zalaka. Mead Lent. Aaron Krupski. Samantha Prendergast. Nathaniel Farden. Lara Gidritis Belfiore. Pamela Pagoda Rum. Heather Marie Murphy. Mona Lisa Smith. Kimberly Ann Pizarczyk. Jessica Lynn Shempruck. Megan Sweet. Melissa Lynn Rogers. Gabriel Nellenbach. Kathleen Tyndall. Catherine Holly Boss. Lauren Boffman. Jill Katina. Andrea Guthorn. Chelsea Lynn Paykoff. Rosemary Freeman. Laura Kirsten McMillan. Elizabeth Pettit. Tammy Lee Fisher. Jean O'Connor. Teresa Hannibird. Disa Seymour. Dorothy Shanahan Roberge Santiago. George Sisting.
At the conclusion of our ceremony, you're all invited to attend the reception that's going to be in the Student Center.
I now declare the May 2019 graduate commencement of the State University of New York Polytechnic Institute concluded. Will guests and visitors please remain standing at their seats until the recession has completed.